Welcome to She Lives, where magic and mystery become the blueprint and path to creating a new reality, deeply rooted in the essence of your soul. Join me as we hear, feel, and see through lenses and senses of intuitive wisdom and soul-based leadership. This is the She Lives podcast. Episode 2, Pandora's Box and the Spiritual Awakening Journey. Hello, my name is Hazel Evans and this is the She Lives podcast. In this episode, we open up Pandora's box and delve into she who is wild, sacred and unstoppable in her rising in the truth of love. These are energies of the pure woman who lives inside of you. How much more of this sacred essence of your soul can you awaken in you in this lifetime? Let's begin. And let's begin with the vast and contentious topic of the spiritual awakening journey. As we visit Pandora and ask her, how, Pandora, how do we do this? For she, the archetype, myth and legendary essence, is a key to the journey, to your journey, a key that unlocks the box, opens a door, and reveals all the surprises and surrenders, the traps and the triumphs, initiations that one must take if you are really up for the journey. So, today, this podcast will give you space for you to check in with yourself. Where are you at on your journey of this so-called life? And I offer you some inspiration and grounding and revelations to assist you on your path of awakening to your full potential. Authentically grounding your soul in your body and ready to fulfill your purpose here on earth. So what I offer you today is, first of all, a journey with Pandora and the mythos around this powerful feminine archetype, as well as a deeper consideration about what a spiritual journey could be or look like for you, an insight into navigating with more consciousness what you are moving through in your life right now. Also, I offer you a few steps to get yourself further on your path, no matter where you are, further on your path of becoming your own greatest guide of your spiritual awakening journey, because your spiritual awakening journey is essentially you awakening to the power in you. So what part of you needs liberating today? So, this is how you get to the next level. Now, let's start with some fun, because journeys always start with a sense of change, stepping into something new. Let's start with the fun that ignites our sense of wonder, innocence, and exploration as we open a new door, embark on the next level, and find out what this journey actually could involve. Nightlit sky walking through a circled floor. The lines lead to a half-open door. Scribblings curling, sideways unfurling, and singing songs are tweeties. Birding. Let's begin. Have you had a spiritual awakening? Spiritual awakening. It's rather a trendy subject these days. But it is not actually a trend. It is your journey of life. And it actually means serious business. And for those who have been through these initiations of which I speak, you will know. As you do not come out the other side comfortable and safe. You come out wild, free, and unstoppable, standing in your soul purpose. Those who know, know. Don't even need to wink. We see it in each other's eyes and feel the vibration. This honours degree is not rewarded with a certificate or a medal. It comes with the awakening of your innate soul wisdom, the heritage that runs through your blood and bones, and the stars that twinkle in your eyes, and resonates through every fibre of your being and expression. Are you ready for a true spiritual awakening? Are you ready to dive deep and not stop until you break through the other side? It is a journey, a pilgrimage. So, get ready to lose your rucksack, lose your socks and shoes, and end up in a ravine fighting for your life, summoning the power within you to find a way out. You will, and you will have a superwoman inside of you that activates when you get to this point, and she will know exactly what to do. Now she is, when you are ready, inside of you, and she is ready to ignite and lead the light of love that will guide you through your path. It is time now to step over the line and travel into something new. What we are experiencing collectively at the moment is opportunities at every single level. Every new moon, every full moon, every new month, every new seasonal change, every part of your life where you think or see or feel, oh, I've done this before, I need to change, how can I do it differently? All of these are invitations to step over the threshold into something completely new, a completely next up level of your life. And by reading how you did it in the past and how you desire to do it now, this is where it gets interesting. So this is also where it can get a bit wild and crazy and crack the status quo of a life of polarity, a life of separation, a life where there is black and white and rights and wrongs, and there is conforming and complying. And all of this prevents you from accessing your innate genius. So let's open the door. Let's open these realms where there's possibilities right now to open the doors, find the keys, open the boxes, open the windows, and let the soul play with us. Whisper all the colours through us as all the directions we need to go present themselves step by step by step in order to lead us to the point where we can take flight into a whole new realm of existence. Check the clock, the seconds of time that chime and skip over the travelling line. For a ticket to the colourful monochrome is waiting inside the wardrobe home. Before you leave, write a
trees made of blotted letters are feathering dots in all kinds of weathers, as the paper forest transports us far to places and faces from that door left ajar. Flight for the black and white. It only takes a minute, and then you're right in it.
Do you know, can you remember when there was a moment when you realized that something needed to change? For me, one of the key memories I have is sitting on my bed when I was staying at my sister's house when I had come back from France. I had started studying psychology to understand what was happening in this relationship. What was he doing? What am I doing? And I started the unpacking journey through curiosity, because I realized, like I said in my last podcast, I had been bullied for so long, and that was the moment that something shifted in me, and I realized, oh my goodness, if I am to stop attracting people who bully me, I have to change. And this is where I could feel the first sense of something opening, something new opening up inside of me. And when something new opens up inside of you, there really is no going back. You can't unsee it or unfeel it. But I felt this shift of transforming that victim inside of me into a creator. She who has the power now, with this insight, to change and create a new reality. So, have you had an aha moment like this that changed your life forever, that course corrected you, that realigned you more with your soul? This is all part of the things that show you an evidence that you are on a spiritual journey. Now, a spiritual journey, like I said, is about you becoming more you. And historically, spiritual journeys have often been associated with religion or gurus or particular pathways. And I say to you, have none of that. Have you. There's an innate wisdom lying dormant inside of you that is waiting to be ignited. And that's what this spiritual journey is about. It's about you remembering, and not only remembering, but embodying. And not only embodying, but then taking action to create a new reality, because you matter. So when we have these awakenings or realizations, that is actually not the spiritual awakening. These are like little glimmers or flickers of light that are starting to ignite in the body, which say, yeah, this is the way, follow the light, come on, let's go there. And these are the things inside where you start to go inside, and it can get pretty scary, I tell you. It can get pretty scary. And the thing is that, like I said, there's no going back. But you can stop. You can stop at any point. And everything has an impact. Everything has an impact along the journey. So where are you at? When can you remember something significant opening up in you? Equally, can you remember when something's opened in you and you've just gone, oh my goodness, that's too much, I'm going to slam the box shut, lock the key and throw it into the ravine? Can you remember a moment like that? Oh dear, our ego is very, very tempting to just keep things hidden away, isn't it? But Pandora's box gives us a great opportunity through the archetype of Pandora and this energy essence, which is what stories are. They are transmissions of energy. So I am actually not going to tell you the story of Pandora. You can have a look yourself as part of your own journey. But what I am going to actually take you into is the deep essence of the resonance of what this archetype is. And because she is an archetype, Pandora is, of where the essence of creation lives within you. And this archetype is a profound guide to interpret into your life and how you consciously navigate your own transformational journey. So, Pandora. Welcome, Pandora. No, she's not actually a guest on today's show, but, potentially in the future. Anyway, Pandora. Deep feminine mysteries. Yes, she is part of the crowd of the deep feminine. Is she Lilith rising? Is she the deep feminine that is coming to play? Well, the essence is certainly pure, deep, sacred feminine who takes no prisoners, all in the name of love. This wisdom of the deep Mother Earth is within all of us, which means you have the power for great change. She who ignites the sovereign realm within herself. So this journey of your awakening is you awakening the sovereignty in you, the true, pure, innate essence of your sovereign realm. And when you do that inside, you can do that outside. So the myth of Pandora, sovereign, deep, pure, feminine. Sometimes, as with most feminine figures of great power, has been vilified in the stories of our forefathers, who perhaps were not ready to deeply surrender to the power of love. Yes, I would be scared if I were them too, because the power that is rising in women who know what I am talking about is significant. It is life-changing and therefore death-threatening to anything that is not love. And this is what we're seeing at the moment also in the collective, is the revival, the revival of the deep feminine and the awakening of the pure essence of what it means to be human, which is in resonance with the highest quality and resonance of love that there is. And that will separate, it will separate that which causes separation from that which causes unity. So it will actually highlight everything that is out of alignment. That's essentially what's happening at the moment in the collective, and it's happening in relationships, and it's happening in me, and it's happening in you, because it's such a significant force of powerful change that's happening collectively at the moment. So let's continue with Pandora. She is interpreted in many different stories and is a vehicle to demonstrate the ideologies of the deep feminine principles, her pure power of transformation. Again, another passageway of the life, death, and rebirth principle of the deep feminine. Her body was made of clay. This is the earth. This is the Mother Earth. This is your blood and bones. This is the wisdom that lies within your body wisdom. And she is the sacred vessel, the Holy Grail, the chalice, a representation of the sacred body of woman that carries the wisdom of creation, just like you. In Greek mythology, they describe her as she who sends up gifts So this is about unearthing. And perhaps this is a little bit like Persephone as well, you might add. Well, yes, there are many representations and stories and myths, gods and goddesses. Each participates in the bigger picture. And there are many deep, deep aspects of the feminine. And yes, when you are prepared to go there, they give you great, great gifts. For if you dare to go into the underworld, which is the box, open the box to the underworld, the hidden world, then the light that you bring from wherever you come from will illuminate that which is in the dark. So Pandora here, she represents she who rises, brings the gifts back from the dark. She is the conqueror of the dark, the chaos, the trauma, the distortions, the patterns, the conditions, the lies and the illusions. She illuminates the programming that is not you but needs to be seen, unearthed, shone light upon and healed. Brought to life and then met in the arms of love once again. So she invites us to open the box, open the door, delve into the darkness and trust that we can carry our light, so that we can go deep to embody the knowledge and turn it into wisdom. Now, for anyone who has worked with me or knows me, they know that this is part of what I'm all about. Because you can just know a lot of stuff, right? But it doesn't count for anything, because when the crunch comes to the crunch, you are going to need to turn that knowledge from all of those methods and exams and trainings and everything. You're going to have to put that to practice. And that's when it gets interesting. And that's when you know, oh my goodness, this is the spiritual awakening journey. So, as we move through this journey and as we bring Pandora a little closer, we realize that Pandora awakens the light of you. She is the light of you. You are that light. And she awakens that force of power within you when you are ready and when you are prepared to go full out through the darkness. This is how powerful it is, because, and this is where Pandora has been vilified, let's say, perhaps a little bit, as like this destroyer, creator of chaos. Another energy of like this Kali energy, red goddess energy, Lilith energy. But like I said, she will just rip apart the illusions and expose the truth, anything that is not love. And this is what is so amazing about the spiritual journey. When you're truly on that path, after you've done various trainings or whatever, or had some insights, you will know when you are fully on the journey going through the darkness. You will know. So this essence of the deep feminine is encouraging us to make our light brighter as we're going through the darkness. And she is the one, this energy is encouraging your voice of your soul to ignite and come through the despair and the illusions. It's the uncomfortable leaning into the edges of our mind, of our world, and leaning into the edges of despair to show us that all is not lost and that there is new life stirring within us, stirring within you to create new revelations, new existence, and new adventure. Now, you might think, well, I'd much rather actually just sit at home and watch some Netflix, and that's much easier. And, yes, it is. But is there a part of you inside that knows that there's something more for you to live that you're not living yet? Because the journey of spiritual awakening is the gift that keeps giving. When you learn to start this process of shedding the shame, shedding the guilt and the blame, releasing the trauma responses and releasing the self-punishment, and return to your natural human evolutionary journey. So this is what she's all about. She is guiding us to have courage to take a journey with ourselves, see how far we can go, see how much we can hold ourselves, gather everything that we need in order to liberate the powerful upsurging of the soul expression. And this is why I talk about love, creation, and leadership, because this is the essence that rises when everything else is falling away. So here, when we're letting this falling away happening through our journey, we're not only breaking free from our inner critics, but we're learning to let these boundaries of our own self-worth define who is now going to be in our lives. And there's many things, you can talk about and learn ways of embodying or learning about your boundaries, self-worth, self-love, etc., etc. And I did years of this as well, but I can say that it wasn't until I was truly, fully, 100% on my journey that the innate intelligence and the innate wisdom of setting boundaries, of self-love, of me knowing who I am, of sexual life force energy, it wasn't until then that naturally started just rising through me. It wasn't that I had practiced enough in any workshops or trainings or courses or whatever that then I was a master at that. No, it was like lose everything and then you become the master. And then the gifts will start to be given to you, from you, by you, through you. And this is the true embodiment of your spiritual journey. So Pandora teaches us that you carry the light, you illuminate the dark, and you are the leader. And you break free from the critics inside and outside of yourself, and there's no more power games or struggles. And the insanity of the materialistic world is exposed, and the corruptions on power, sex and wealth are exposed. And you have the power within you to cast these off and make changes. So anyone who torments, abuses, distracts or vilifies you, such as in the Pandora story, is like, you don't have time to mess with that anymore, because you know the truth. The light of truth is ignited so much within you that it starts guiding you more than you have ever experienced before. And this is when the true soul's purpose starts to guide you. It's the energy of truth and the light of love. It's an energy of hope and honesty, integrity, the pure beauty that you are, peace, and a sense of unity and wholeness within you that's guiding you. And the searching stops finally, and the journey becomes a mission. The journey becomes a service to life. The journey becomes, how can I discover and ignite these gifts more within, and how can I make this life more magnificent than ever before? So finding the light within, opening the box, and let your light guide you through everything. And that means going into the dark and trusting you can get through it. So, this is where love comes from the core of your soul. This is where love is unity, and love does not tolerate or appease any kind of separation, because you understand what that is and the impact of that and what that has on yourself, on your relationships, and on what you create. So, are you in wonder as you open the box? Do you feel like you have already opened a box? Do you feel like your box has got lots of hidden scrolls with all these texts that you have no idea what they mean on? Are there hidden trinkets in there that you need to decipher? Are there other keys to open other boxes? Who knows? The Pandora's box that is you is filled full of hidden secrets inside, and it's a bit like a crazy computer game, you know, that you have to go through these different levels and opening different boxes and finding different keys, and sometimes takes you right to the edge of you think you're going to lose the game, as in check out of this life, lose your body. But actually it's just taking you to the edge of profound transformation. And that's the point where you stay in the game and you ignite your superpowers and you go for it, and you go and you jump into the void. You jump into the next level with the deep trust and surrender that you're going to make it, and you do. And it's completely unknown. This is the awakening to the new you, to the real you. And it's the complete unknown. I remember when I realised 3 years ago, in the complete falling apart of my second marriage, I realised, wow, if I have done this again, I was repeating something that I did not learn the lessons from marriage 1, because I attracted this again. So if I was doing that, but how do I know how not to do that? And then I realised, well, the only thing I can do right now is to stop doing that, stop attracting that kind of abusive behaviour into my life, stop doing Hazel, who she thought she was. And then I kind of turned my gaze towards a different vision into the void. And I had no idea how to do it any other way. So I just decided, well, the best place to start is by doing the opposite. I was headed in that direction of abuse, etc. I'm literally going to turn my back on that and walk in the other direction. And even when you don't know and you feel like you're in the void, just look at what you've done in the past, how cycles have repeated, how they're not serving you, how you've repeated behaviours and relationships, etc. And just, even if you don't know, just stop doing that and just start doing the opposite. Do something that feels more in alignment. And I thought, wow, that's great. I'm just going to start doing the opposite. So where I had low self-esteem, I'm going to have high self-esteem. Even if I wasn't feeling it right then, it's like, I'm going to take that path to get there. You know, and it's like, oh, losing my health, right? Well, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to learn again how to reclaim every part of my magnificent body. You know, all of that. And the same with beauty. It's like, you know, dare I say this, it's like, you know, we become ugly when we're not in alignment with our soul, you know, and we treat ourselves badly when we're being abused. And it, you know, I have such compassion, you know, I've been through all of this and I felt like I've lost so much of my beauty, and there's so many illusions out there on, well, you got in that relationship because you obviously didn't love yourself well enough. Well, it's like, yeah, okay, well, what am I going to do with that information? Well, there's not much you can do when these sort of limited views of spiritual awakening are presented to you. It's like, that doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't matter how many times I'm going to go get my nails done or have my hair done or put on a goddess dress. That's not going to cut it for me. So where is that place of true beauty, true respect for my body, true respect for my work, my life, my house, my home, my relationships, and the deep self-worth? Where is that? And that's what I set out looking for. And that's the depths in which my journey has taken me to. Because I said, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend or fix my life in any way until it comes from deep within, until I've got that reinstated inner tuition working for me, and my ego is just not part of the game anymore. So, let's come back a bit to Pandora here, because this essentially what I've been describing is how she takes you there. This energy of trusting you can go there into the void, this trust, the surrender, the transformation. And when you get through that, and you have to trust you're going to come out the other side, then the gifts are given, and then the awakening starts. This is what they call awakening, because it's really a new you. It's the real you. Without the, without any of the masks or guises, or without you needing to protect anything material that you have gained in your life so far. There's a different kind of awakening that comes. So I will go on about this because I love it. I love telling you that you were born to be magnificent. And nothing will stop you when you realise that this is what the journey is about. Like I said, it's all about you discovering how magnificent you are. So, and this is where I find it gets interesting sometimes, because I've witnessed that, and even myself in like the first 10 years of my so-called spiritual awakening journey, whatever, is that, you collect all these things along the way, you think you're doing it, and then it's like, bam, another bad relationship, bam, another disappointment, bam, and that's when you realise, wow, actually it hasn't really begun, because I'm still repeating what I was doing before, even though you're collecting information along the way. So, it's all good. It's all part of it. And I would say there's more, because, and this is the bit that I like, my partner actually pointed out to me that Pandora is rather like Wonder Woman, because in the myth of Wonder Woman, she was actually made out of clay, and Pandora was as well. So I thought, well, do you know what? Yeah, this is it. When you go through your journey like this, and you go into what they might call the dark night of the soul, which quite frankly lasts much longer than one night. If it only lasted one night, well, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Over and done. But quite frankly, you don't know when you're going to get through it. So, yeah, you have to ignite that Wonder Woman within you. And it truly is. It's like this, this alchemical release within your body that is like, ignites your superpowers. And that's when you start realising, oh my goodness, I am actually unstoppable. And this is where you start the path of reclaiming everything in the name of love. Even sacred divine union. This is also where this comes from. So in episode 1, I spoke about reclaiming everything in the name of love, and that choice point that when you have difficult times in your life, you have a choice either you choose for the separation and go along with what you are experiencing at the time, and you continue another form of appeasing the game of separation, or you actually reorientate towards love and literally go full out into opening that box to love. Opening that box is your heart. These are the chambers of your heart, and letting it all move through. And I would tell you, love does not always look like you expect it does. It does not always show up how you think it does. So, yeah, reclaiming everything in the name of love. Now, even sacred divine union and Pandora is a symbol and an energy and a pathway to divine union with her sovereign counterpart Prometheus. And together they reign as sovereign leaders of the new realm, king and queen of the universe. So this is really an energy of what is possible when you meet somebody on your journey who says, yeah, we're going to take this journey together. I'm doing the journey. Are you doing the journey? Yeah, let's do this. And you can, when you're doing the journey with somebody else, seriously, like I'm doing with my partner, there is something else available, something else which is absolutely magnificent. It's the, I don't know, I've never experienced it before. I'm taking this journey right now. It's unfolding, has been for the last 3 years. There's something else incredible that becomes available when you truly open up to the energy of sacred union, not only with yourself, but with a counterpart. And it really is where there's a new level of leadership that comes in. And that energy in itself is what creates your new reality. So obviously, you know, sacred union, it can happen on many different levels with yourself. You know, if you're on your own, that's absolutely great. Working on balancing those energies of divinity within yourself, masculine and feminine. It's also possible with somebody else if they're fully committed to their journey as well. It's absolutely possible. And then I also believe that it is possible to have this in the third line of consciousness, that which you create. Like there's an incredible alchemical synergy available there. And I think this is what, you know, they talk about with Pandora and Prometheus, is that there's something else that becomes available through love, you know. And they say that love conquers all. And I truly believe that. It really does. Love conquers all. But it will rip you apart beforehand, yeah. So, you know, when we are king and queen of the universe, this is where you start living in your sovereign energy and living and manifesting from the magic and mysteries that you are of your sacred union within yourself. And this is the true alchemy of love as well, between man and woman. And this is truly available. I also realised, and I will talk about this in another podcast, on my journey, I realised, you know, how do I obviously wasn't able to have a healthy relationship before. And then I realised, well, like I said earlier, I'm just going to stop doing that, and I don't know how to do it any other way, but I'm going to take that path. And what becomes available, the alchemy that becomes available is really something else, and to be met in that space with another is really beautiful and really healing and really powerful. But you both have to be on that journey, you know. You first both have to fully choose for your own spiritual journey, yourself, for yourself completely, so that you can then, and they, you know, have to hopefully, you know, ideally have been doing this before you both meet. So it's kind of like with my partner, I was joking the other day that it's like we both met in a big crevice. It's like this big crack of earth. had opened up, and we kind of fell in because we met at like really crucial part in our lives. And it's like the earth cracked open, we fell in, and we fell to the bottom of this crevice, and it's like, oh my God, is anybody there? Is anybody there? Oh, hello. Oh, are you there? Who are you? You're a man. Oh my God, I can't trust a man. You're a woman. Oh my God. I was like, oh, how are we going to do this? Well, we must become a team because we need to find our way out. So that's kind of a little bit of how my Pandora's box has opened up over these last 3 years. In that, I was fortunate enough to be able to do this, and I believed that I could only do this next level. I could only do this next level of healing with my counterpart. Like truly. So back to Pandora. All this storytelling of Pandora and everything is all very well, but how does this knowledge translate to a path where you can embody it and turn knowledge into wisdom that then radiates from the inside of you out to create significant change in your life? So where is the Pandora's box in you? The box is like your heart. The box is like your body, your consciousness. It's a sacred, magical space. A box, a jar, a vessel filled with love. Do you dare open this kind of love? And how do you find the keys? And how do you know what the box looks like? How do you even know how to find the box? And when you do find the box or a box, do you have the right key to open that box? And then what happens when you actually open the box? What happens then? How are you going to actually deal with what is being revealed? This is the power and resilience of the journey. And this is where you can say, well, this is where truth speakers come in. This is where people who rock the status quo. This is where people who challenge different perspectives of ways of seeing come in. Because you'll know that to one degree or another, they have at least opened one box within themselves. They've at least found one key. And they are on the journey. So, how do we deal with this once the box has been opened, once Pandora's box has been opened? And it can be so overwhelming. I mean, I spoke in the last podcast about all of the revelations and visions and the psychic abilities that started igniting within me more than ever before. It's like the floodgates are open and all the gifts are returning from the soul. But how do you actually deal with that? Because at the same time, it reveals where all of the darkness is. It reveals where everything you've been trying to hide away within you and wished was never there is there, and things that you've forgotten through trauma and everything. All of that gets revealed. Now, this is where the workshops and courses and retreats and spiritual events, however you feel them, all these different methodologies and trauma healings and etc. These are awesome. These are all part of the journey. And all of this that you're participating in or learning or exploring into, even acts of creation, for example, any, art classes or anything, or learning new skills or sports or whatever, all of these participate in coming back into you again, if you choose to allow them consciously into your path of growth rather than in this is my hobby, this is what I do. If you allow these things that you do as workshops, courses, events, etc., to be part of your journey, because they're all great, and yet they're still only the training. They're only the beginning. These are the resources that you are gathering so that when the crunch comes to the crunch, you can navigate through it, and you can open up that which you've always desired to feel, hear, and see within yourself. So it's the how you apply these tools, the tools being the workshops and the courses, how you apply these when you finally get the chance to open the last hidden cavity of the master magician's box. When you have said yes to every part of the journey to keep following the light of your heart, when you've found the key and it slots in perfectly, you turn it and it cracks open the reality you've been waiting for, that perhaps you've never been able to give words to. It's a force that blows from the inside out. It blows your hair backwards, it blows your eyebrows off, and it blows you off your seat. It leaves you on your knees and on the edge of the cliff and on the edge of your mind, because this is the turning point where you choose to create a new reality. And this, my friends, is where the true spiritual awakening journey begins. Yeah, this is where it truly begins. It's in how you embody it, how you implement it, and how you make choices along the way. Now, I know this could be a little bit challenging to hear things like this, but this is where you can get stuck along the way, or confused, and there's no judgment. Like, everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own life journey, and everybody's doing the best they can. But this podcast episode is for those who know that there's something else that they are searching for inside of themselves, and they want to get to that next. There's something else happening inside of me. I don't know what it is. There's a greater reality I can live. There's a greater potential I can live. But what is it? And I keep not being able to have my relationships or do the job that I like or whatever. What is it? It might be that it's this true profound journey that is calling you, and that you will not be able to discover that unless you go, right, let's go in, let's do this. And everyone has a different set of keys, and there's different locks, and it's a wondrous riddle and a game of essentially remembering who you are, so that you can, oh my God, I'll wake up enough to remember, oh my goodness, I actually, this is my sole purpose, to serve humanity in this way, or create gifts in this way, or whatever. This is what really ignites my light and makes me feel passionate about life. But to get to that point, I know how hard it is to really truly unlock that. So yeah, are you ready? Are you ready to unlock you, the true you? And how prepared are you to go all the way? And we all play our part. No judgment at all where anybody is on any part of their journey. It's just, if you're searching for something else, this could be the invitation that you've been waiting for. So I will say a few warnings of the spiritual awakening journey is that in the beginning, when I look back over my sort of 15-year journey, there was the beginning stages where you start having revelations, but they're only just revelations and insights. Like I said, it's like sparks of the soul are starting to ignite. Now, there's, supposed stages, and everyone's at different stages on different paths and everything. But we're going to look at this sort of generally, because I think there are some warnings of the spiritual journey. And first off is to know that you always have a choice. You always have a choice along the way, because it can feel like you are driving yourself to the edge of insanity when you are really like against the wall, on the edge of the cliff, or at the bottom of the ravine. And you've got to find a way. And that's because you know you can do it. You know you can do it. And find that courage within your heart to ask, even if you don't know, what is the way of love now? What would love do right now? Please show me, and watch the inner visions that come. Watch the inspiration that comes. And this is how it starts guiding you. So tune into your body. Tune in and keep tuning in. Let your body be a great navigator for you. Does this choice I'm faced with right now, does it feel light or dark? Does it feel heavy or illuminating? Where is the yes? Where is the yesness in you? Where is the I can't wait another minute. I've got to do this. I don't know why, but I have to. And let that guide you. Let that guide you. Whether that's something incredible and ecstatic, or whether it's the letter to whoever that you just need to say, this is over. I tolerate your behaviour no longer. Or whether it's the job with the crazy boss that is just not serving you or your soul purpose anymore. Just the time is up. We are at the 13th hour of evolutionary change. The time is up. Now is the time for change. And you always, through your own free will, can choose how you navigate to do this. Start reattuning to the yesness in you, the light in you, the source of inspiration in you. And I said this earlier, you can open the box, and apparently there's some crazy thing of 80% of people in their lifetime will get some kind of spiritual awakening, or awakening to spirit, or awakening to another capacity of their consciousness. About 80%, I think it was. 80% do that, and they then close the box. Out of 100. So 100% of people will get some kind of spiritual awakening or revelation of some insight at some point in their life. 80% will then close the box again. So what does that mean? It's that 80% will choose their patterning or conditioning over that which they have experienced that came from deep within themselves. And this is why I was talking about atheism earlier. It can be very detrimental to your self-value and your self-worth and your confidence, and can show you where to not believe in yourself, because you essentially are not able to believe in your soul. So that's pretty damaging, I would say. So these choice points along the way to start listening to your soul energy, your intuition. And, you are your own greatest guide. You determine what that means for you, spiritually, whatever that means for you, and whatever words you want to give that is awesome. But you see, if you close the box, there will always be a price to pay, because that's how it works. And when you come into the winter energy of the crone and the death and the dying phase, this is what, if you don't choose to let go of that note which no longer serves you, it will just come round for another round and show you where you still need to, embody the lessons of your soul for this lifetime. So if you close the box, let's say, there will be a price to pay, and that price could be that, in exchange for getting more conscious, you remain in your comfort zones, you remain with your job, you remain with the business that you've built up, you remain with the sexual partner that you have, or you remain with your sexual orientation, you remain with that level of power of any kind at all that you have created in the life that was built upon part of your ego or part of who you were before. Now, and this is keeping the status quo. This is what they call keeping the status quo. So you can always choose for that. You can always choose to, just pop on the Netflix and get back into regular life. You can always choose that. And there's no judgment, like I said, but here I'm talking to the people who are like, how do I break free to the next level of my spiritual journey? This is what I'm talking about. And I'm by no means, I'm not any kind of, I don't know, won't put any words on myself. But anyway, it's, I have my own journey. I'm growing and always will be growing and learning always. And that's the most amazing thing about it. It's like, wow, what next? This gets exciting, I tell you. So, right. So, yes, one of the warnings is, that you do always have choices. You could actually close the box and just maintain that status that you've already maintained in your life because you're not willing to exchange a part of you that needs transforming for that. Also, there are illusions of spiritual awakening, for example, on social media, etc., and all of that that's going on right now, which is just another mask to prevent taking the real journey, which actually is a real inward journey. And that's the part that will rip you apart the most. Are you willing to sort of, come out of the spotlight of your old life for several years so that you can really make a transformation on yourself? I don't know if most people are ready for this yet. And maybe collectively there's a bigger push that needs to happen, because the journey of a spiritual awakening, it is painful and difficult. They call the dark night of the soul, and I said, yeah, great. It's not just one night; it could last for many years. It's not the same as depression. Depression is part of it, can be part of it. And there's often multiple life events, traumatic events that add up to the point where there is truly, this is the time, there is no going back. There's a really big change going to happen. And that's where the tables get turned and there's a really big trailblazing activation in you. That's when the superwoman gets activated. And then it becomes like this mastering, like, oh my goodness, I've got all this going on inside of me. How do I continuously let go of the old past while this new searching thing is running through me?
Inside the minds of lines, dots and marks are tickets to places with warming heart sparks. On the track and venture into the monochronium and never look back. Adventure into the monochronium and never look back. For the black and white, it only takes a minute, and then you're right in it.
It's learning how to meet the edge of resistances, learning what that feels like within you so that you can recognize the vibration of your ego wanting to remain the status quo inside of you, and that you can learn to break that every time and choose for your soul resonance each time. And, there's no assurance of when the journey will end. It's transformative and enriching the whole way, even through the pain and the darkness and the difficulties, even through feeling lost, confused, alone and anxious. All of that is normal. And I can say, I'm starting to get breath now on the other side. I've started to be choosing for life, practicing choosing for life for over a year now, again, after this huge process of transformation and this like next up level of soul embodiment, let's say. And so yeah, there's the stages and the challenges of the spiritual journey. I suppose you could say that it first is created with chaos and the grace of chaos, often an unexpected event that shatters in that moment, whether it be an accident or a loss of somebody or a breakup or something. If you choose to see that for the truth of what it is energetically, it can create that snap out of the old reality. It's a changing and challenging life event that starts unfolding, and any old traumas that were locked inside of you from very young that weren't able to be healed, it gives this opportunity through these life changes to be seen, healed. So do you need to suffer to grow spiritually? Well, yes and no, I would say, is that there's this stretching. It feels like this stretching I witnessed, like working through all the chakras in the body, and then there's the outside chakras. There's that deepening connection with the earth, and that there's also that simultaneous higher connection with the higher realms of spirit and the universe and everything that's available there, simultaneously as this deeper connection to the earth of I am here, I'm going to deliver my gift and nothing's going to stop me. And this is this fierce power, and this is when you know that you're on your spiritual journey and you are not bypassing. Like, you let everything run through you and there's no bypassing, because you've liberated and unlocked yourself so much that you literally cannot run away from yourself anymore. So it's like this stretching up and down. I'm connecting with the earth more and I'm connecting with the sky more. And this is where you start opening not only the Kundalini energy that's within your body, this is where you're taking this to a whole new level of embodied wisdom. And, this is where animism comes in. This is where shamanism comes in. This is where the innate connection to all that comes in. It's like this next level of awakening in your shift of human consciousness. And you will be your greatest guide for this. There's nobody can tell you how to move through what you need to move through. And this is why I said, go to these classes, learn ecstatic dance, cacao ceremonies, whatever plant medicine ceremonies, tantra, EFT, somatic healing, learn all of it, like dabble in it, like enjoy the journey of discovering what that is, learning to work with yourself and your traumas in your way. Do not attach to any single method, because as soon as you attach to a method, you're stuck. You then identify with this certain method, but actually you really want to just become the method, and enjoy all of these different aspects that are weaving into the great cosmic web of you as the great creator that you are. So, on your journey, you'll start asking big existential questions. What does life mean? What is my purpose? What is my meaning? Why am I here? And all of these are invitations for you to explore this deeper meaning of life, waking up to a more meaningful life, waking up to you, waking up from the illusions and breaking out of the cocoon and soaring into this sometimes blissful expression of your soul. And this is where discovering all of this less zest for life and everything is really incredible. It's like it's all woven into the mix. And this is why I say, go ahead and discover all of these different things about life, you know, yoga and, I don't know, tarot reading and working with stones and gems and like whatever it is. It's amazing. It's all these different expressions of life, everything. And they're all simply teachings. They're all simply different ways in. They're all keys to unlock different parts of you. It's all part of you, and none of it is you. Only you know who you are. So you start to realise, you know, that you are part of the whole, and treat your journey like that as well. Treat your journey as you are part of the whole. And get really intelligent around what I was saying, around gathering knowledge with the intention of embodying it into wisdom. So that when heartbreaks or betrayals come, when losses come, you become your greatest guide. So gather all of these things, because one day, whether it's in this life or the next, or, you know, you might have decided, well, you know, yeah, I've got to this level and I'm actually really comfortable and this is great. That's awesome as well. And I'm actually speaking to the people who like feel this edge of there's something else going on. I need to make a change. I've got so far. I need to get to the next level. So, you know, to get to the next level, like I said, the cracking comes open, and the first levels of awakening, they're just, you know, they're just one chapter. It's really what do you do next? And allowing that flow of that journey to happen, allowing that choice point through crisis to happen, that choice point of separation to happen, and to choose for love in that moment. And you will set yourself on a wild journey of discovering who you know yourself to be, but who you were never able to express before. And this also comes into authenticity and speaking the truth, and not just speaking your truth. You know, there's this illusion of, well, you know, that's their truth and this is my truth. And actually, when you break that illusion of separation of truth, you actually realise, yeah, there is actually pretty much only one truth, you know, and that is love. Because if you are in your truth and I'm in my truth and we're not meeting, that's not love. So at least one person in those two people is lying. So basically, when you ignite this level of, and when I say lying, it might be unconsciously, because you're secretly protecting a part of yourself that is just too painful to be healed, you know, and perhaps it's too painful to be healed in this lifetime as well. But when you come to that point and you come to this sense of wholeness, because you've moved through it, and this is why I spoke at the beginning of the podcast about, you know, people who've been through it, it's like, we just nod and wink at each other. Oh, you know, I can feel your vibration. Yeah, okay. Whew, just about got through that one. You know, you realise, oh my gosh, there really is one truth, and that is love. That is love. Oh my God. And it's okay, you know, it's okay if we're in a conversation like, yeah, well, that's your truth, Hazel. That's your truth and this is my truth. It's like, okay. That's okay. That's okay for now. And still I choose love. Yeah. And so it's beautiful and it's painful and it's excruciating. And I actually, like, with a bit of a smile on my face, I can, even though it's been excruciating, I tell you guys, I look back now, and this is why I know I'm coming to life, and this is why I'm doing the podcast. I can look back now and actually have a bit of a giggle with myself. You know, it's like, wow, woo, that was hard, you know. But I'm alive, and I'm on the other side. And this is why I'm giving testimony to this as well, is that this is what I was going to say about relationships as well, is that about Persephone and Prometheus, is that there is no compromise. There is the old reality way of relating, okay? It's like, well, I will adjust myself so that I can meet you in a view of what I think you are, and you'll adjust yourself to meet me in a view of what you think I am, and you just end up compromising each other. Your relationship was perhaps based on lust or desire, or this whole list of your ideal partner, and well, they pretty much ticked the whole list of what my ego had made that I needed in a man. And actually the reality of it is like, just burn the freaking list. Burn the list and listen to the core of your being. Who is your soul calling for? What? And don't even put any words to it. Just attune to that vibration of what that feels like. And then you will start knowing what you are calling in. Women, you will then start know what you are calling in. And it's not until you start working on that level that things will really shift. So, oh my goodness, I get so passionate sometimes talking about all of this. I love it. So always feel free to drop any questions in the comments section if you're watching this on YouTube. I'd love to hear from you. So the journey is about dismantling of the old self and recalibrating all of that you have learned into who you are becoming, and to listen to that call of the soul, and to listen beyond separation into a greater possibility, a greater realm where unity and love are really guiding every single aspect of your life. So yeah, it's challenging. And life will keep throwing at you the opportunity to see, feel, and hear what it's truly asking for you. And when it happens, you will know, and you will be ignited into, oh, this is the moment I have to ignite all of that training that I've been doing for years in my spiritual practices. Now is the time I put it to action. And that's when it begins. So keep going, my friends. Keep going and keep exploring and keep finding these amazing aspects of life through all these different possible ways of opening up the spiritual realms. All of it counts. All of it's amazing. And, you know, for the warriors out there, keep going. Just keep going. You've got this. You can come out the other side. I am testimony to that. You know that when you're tasting despair, isolation, that you are choosing for love through everything, because you are choosing to fortify your heart so that you can build that sovereign realm. And this, you know, I'm talking about mainly in the one, in the person, you know, the I or the we in relation at the moment, but this also counts for the collective as well. The same thing applies out in the collectively as well. So this is when your purpose starts becoming clearer. Through the cracks, the light comes in. There's opportunities for change, and you know, we realise that the change is, you know, as above, so below, as inside, so outside. And you keep moving and becoming an alchemical, walking, talking, transformational embodiment of your soul. And it's beautiful. Love it's extraordinary. It's so powerful in how it deciphers truth from lies. And it's a vibration. It's not a discussion. It's actually non-negotiable. And that's the point of power of Pandora and of superwoman is to become unstoppable, because you know and you trust in yourself so deeply that you're going to make it. So, like I've said, keep taking your journey. Don't get stuck in anything. Don't get attached to anything. Take the orientation of your journey of, I am becoming me. You are becoming you. And you don't know what this is yet. I did. There's parts of me that I have reclaimed and rediscovered that I had no idea that it would feel like this. I had no idea that self-value would feel like this, or that self-love would feel like this. It's new vibrations that awaken inside of you. So this is also why physical activity, which is what I'm getting back into now, is also really important. Water is important because it's all about vibration. And marrying the consciousness of vibration, of the love vibration, from consciousness into your body, as above, so below. So, this is also the power of creation, and one of the most powerful things that will, I guarantee, if you go through with it and come out of your old life, your old linear life, which is basically I'm born and then there's a bit in the middle and then I die. You know, if you come out of that and realize, actually, I'm creating myself over and over and over again. I'm breaking old patterns and I'm becoming something new. That you are the force of creation yourself. And this is the power of cyclical living. This is such an incredible, powerful way to realize where you need to stop doing what you were before and orientate into a new way of being that's in complete alignment with supporting your soul to come to the forefront of your life. And it's really, I cannot recommend it. I cannot recommend it highly enough. I first started readjusting probably about 15 years ago when I came back to England that time, and realizing, actually, I would, instead of having Christmas, I would actually prefer to go to Stonehenge. I have no idea why, but I actually went on the 2012 portal, and that was before there's all these loads of people going now, and I was amazing to go into the center of the circle there, and looking back now, I realised, wow, my soul took me there because I decided that I was going to do something different. I decided I was just going to challenge myself to not do Christmas that year, and to see what celebrating the winter solstice, to see what celebrating the new light coming in at this time of the year would actually, how that would impact me. And, well, you know, I kind of chose like a huge portal of transformation to do that, to go to Stonehenge in. Part of my soul journey, I believe. And it was me saying yes to breaking the old cycles and creating new cycles, healthy cycles. And this is why, following the different seasons of the year and the equinoxes and the solstices and the moons and the suns and all of that, and astrology is so profound guidance, that there's so many different avenues of guidance that come in when you start breaking the old reality apart and realizing that you're emerging into a cyclical way of living. You know, we literally are within ourselves a whole universe spiraling through the universe into like this new field of creation at every given moment. So yeah, I invite you to join me in any of the work that I do. All of it is linked in. It all weaves into me helping you see the magnificence in you and breaking out of the old and coming into the new, you becoming your greatest guide. So I'm really excited to share part of this journey of the spiritual awakening with you, some of the pitfalls that happen, look for the resistances, look for the choice points, look for giving yourself permission to give yourself your own passport to your own sovereignty, where you can step through that door, open that box, and create a new reality. Let it get fun, let it get weird and deep and surreal. Let yourself go on a journey where you can be guided by the true light of your soul and not any false light outside of you that is guiding you in any direction. But what I can offer you is, I can offer you saying, wow, I've had a really strong journey. Let's just journey for a bit together, and maybe I can inspire you to get stronger on your path. Maybe I can inspire you to have the courage to step in for a full yes to you when something, radical happens in your life, and you will then need the tools to get through that and ignite your soul magnificence, wisdom, capabilities, gifts to the next level. So all of my work is about that, and I have a year training for women called the Sovereign Journey, and this is what it's about. It's about returning home, remembering who you are, and you being the greatest guide for that. And Pandora reminds us that you are the key, you are the lock, and you are the box, you are the vessel that contains all this incredible wisdom inside of you. And if you want to join me for a while on this podcast journey, you are more than welcome. And if you wish to deepen your journey with you, feel free to contact me. Feel free to join any of my trainings. And let's evolve. Let's continue evolving to greater levels of ourselves. Sometimes we just need somebody to say, here's some light. There's some difficulties here, but here's some light, and they can share a bit of their light with you. And that's what I'm hoping that I do with this podcast, is share a bit of my light. Because I devoted myself to reclaim all the light when I was down there. And fortunately, I met my beautiful, beloved current partner down there, and we were like, we're so gonna get out of here with all the light. We're so totally gonna do this. So if I can be of any inspiration and share some of my light with you, then I'm just really happy to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I hope it's given you a bit of an insight of how to weave knowledge about different mythologies and archetypes, for example, Pandora, into your own self-realization. And actually, where are you on your soul, on your spiritual journey? Have you met a status quo? Are you at a plateau? And actually need to take the next step, the next big change. Can you feel it coming? Can you feel the rumbling that's coming from within that is asking for change? And just let that sink in. Where are you on your own sovereign journey right now? That is the path of spiritual awakening. That is you on the path of discovering who you truly are. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast today. May you live your magnificence today and beyond. Lots of love, and see you soon for another episode of She Lives.